Welcome back to another video. In this video, I'll be talking about my astral projection experience. Um, for this specific story, this was one of my first times where I've ever actually successfully astrally projected, and this was more in the lower astral planes, and it was closer to physical reality, but there's still elements of the subconscious and the self. Some context to this experience. The dreams leading up to this, um, I've been, I was sleeping up on the middle floor for half the night, then going downstairs to my room and sleeping there for the rest of the night. So I'd wake up, I'd come down, I'd go back to sleep, and that would affect my dreams and make them more vivid and more realistic, you could say. And over the past few nights, when I was sleeping down here, I started getting like weird nightmares with where I'd be in like a normal dream, and then all of a sudden like something would go wrong, and I'd feel like a dark energy like entering my dream. I had one dream where I was like flying a UFO, and I was trying to hunt down somebody, and then this other person tried to hunt me down, and then a bunch of CIA agents appeared, and they pointed their guns at me like they were trying to kill me, and then that's when I knew at the time I thought there was people inside the astral realm that were trying to like attack me or hurt me because of the all the TikToks about um, the elites and the darkness and like the Illuminati and the evil that's trying to attack you and get you if you're spiritual. So it was pretty scary at that moment, and the even like the dreams after that, because I thought there was like people trying to attack me, and uh, or I thought there was a low vibrational energy that was trying to attack me because like, oh, I knew too much, and uh, you can't know the secret about reality because there's going to be um, some dark energy that's after you, and it's the aliens and it's the demons, and they're all after you, and that came from all the misinformation and fear that was going around TikTok, and it kind of manifested into my dreams. But it turns out it was something else, and I'll get to that. Um, but yeah, leading up to this experience, I was getting strange nightmares where there'd be a dark energy that would invade my dream. And the specific dream with the CIA agents was high in the creative plane, so I couldn't really tell that it was a dark energy. I just thought it was a bad aspect of the dream, and I thought it was related to the dream, but it was related to the dream. But it turns out it was um, this dark energy. So anyway, as uh, this same night, I sleep in a little later before I come downstairs. So I come downstairs, I go to sleep, and one of the first dreams I have is I completely know I'm dreaming. It's almost like I'm fully conscious, and I wake up like in this room, and I walk out, and I look inside my bathroom mirror, and I see myself in the mirror like perfectly, and I'm like looking at myself in the mirror, and I'm like, I know I'm dreaming, I know I'm dreaming, I know I'm dreaming, I know I'm dreaming, and it's what's super weird is that I can fully see myself, and what's weird is that I had this black hair like on my neck, like this, and then I start walking up the stairs, and I notice it gets like really really hard to walk up the stairs, like I feel like I'm like separating from my physical body, like and then I like wake up again, and I wake up, but this time I wake up in another dream, and this one was on the middle floor of my house, and my mom was there, and I just look around, and then I look outside, and there's this like dark storm cloud, and then my mom just starts like screaming. She starts absolutely like freaking out, like and that storm cloud was the representation of the dark energy. And then I wake up again, and I wake up inside another dream, and in this dream, um, I'm on the middle floor again, and I'm helping one of my neighbors do something with cryptocurrency, like make an NFT for cryptocurrency, and their family's over. And then I go outside. I walk outside, and Then there's all my like my friends that I haven't like been seeing for a while because of spirituality and stuff. But that's not important. So they're all like fighting amongst each other, like they're all like trying to beat each other up. Like I step in, they start attacking me. I like knock two of them out. One of them gets up again and like spits on me. That was pretty interesting, kind of representative of his personality too. And uh, I end up grabbing him like this, just and going like and going on the ground and knocking him out. And then I knocked, and then the one guy that I did like a leg sweep like that, and he like fell on the ground. And he was like knocked out. And then after I knocked out the other guy, or after I dealt with the situation because they were fighting amongst each other, and it was representative of the current situation in the friend group, which is pretty interesting. But after that, I walked over to him, and even though I knocked him out, he like teleported, almost like teleported. You could say it's just that I was shifting in the fourth dimension, because in the astral plane, I think there's two time dimensions and space and time. But I mean, it's four spatial. It's five spatial dimensions, including one time dimension. So there's five spatial, but they all act almost as a space dimension. Anyway, so I I walk over to him, and then I'm like, "Do you know you're dreaming?" I ask him, "Do you know you're dreaming?" And he's like, "No, no, not really." And I thought that's like, "No, not really." Like that's interesting. Like it's pretty fitting that because I imagine it's an aspect of his consciousness that's in the astral plane, but it's not his full consciousness. Because when you interact with somebody, especially if you're closer to reality in the reality side of the astral plane, it's like you're actually interacting with them, and you can like affect uh, their 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 mood after they wake up if you interact with them through the astral realm. And it's really interesting that you would say, "Oh no, not really. I don't really know. I'm dreaming." And then what's really weird is that there's this. Then after I ask him that, I walk over to this like person and this like younger person, and I think I ask her something about like the dream world, and then I ask her, what happens before you dream? Like, what happens before you dream? And then as I'm about to get the answer to that question, her head completely disappears, and I'm just left with like a lifeless, like or not like a invisible husk of a person, and that's when I can feel the dark energy reapproaching, and I start getting like a little freaked out because it's 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 dark energy, and I'm not sure what this dark energy exactly is. Like as I've said before, I wasn't sure whether there was elites that were after me, as this was like near the start of my awakening when I like started realizing this. I didn't know whether there was elites after me or there's like dark energy chasing me or attacking me. And so I started getting a little freaked out, and I'm just like, oh, I don't know what to do. And then it's just like I try to like channel love by like doing stuff, but it's I start trying to like channel love by, but it doesn't work, and I know I'm like freaking out and panicking, and I just feel this dark energy, and the as I should mention that the scene that I was in was very like it was very bright, it was very vibrant. The colors were similar to when you're on shrooms and you get that vibrant like colors. But when the dark energy approached, it started like the colors got very like black and white and darker, uh, like more depressing almost, more fear filled. And as I start like feeling this like dark energy, I wake up again, and I this time I wake up in a random house, and then I like realize I can like fly, so I start like flying up, and I've never seen this house before, which is really weird. I start like flying around it. Then I wake up again in another person's body. Um, I'm not going to get into the details of this thing because it's a little personal, but then I go to the bathroom, and then the I'm probably not explaining this super coherently or super well, and I might have to redo this. But I go run to my bathroom, and because try to see my body in the mirror. And then as I go in, I start feeling the negative energy approaching again, and the room turns completely dark, like completely dark, and I start feeling the fear, like fear start approaching me, and that's when I get like really freaked out again. So then I actually wake up in the physical bed. I wake up in the physical bed with my hand like this, and my hand feels frozen. It feels completely numb and frozen in this position. And what's really weird is that for part of the dream, I was like, my hands were like down by my side like this, but for some reason, when I woke up, my hand was like this, and it's like I could feel like what as I was, because in between some of the dreams, I projected back into my body, and I could feel my hands were like interconnected, like my hands felt like they were like one, like this, and as I was approaching physical reality more and more, I could feel my hands getting more and more separated. But anyway, as I was waking up, I felt this cold, like dark energy on my hand. Like my hand felt numb. So like, oh, that's really weird. And I had like a really really bad headache. I think that's because I was astrally projecting so much. But I like tried it. I was like lying down like this, like, and then I got up. I started standing up, and as I looked at my hand, there was like this dark energy, and this black dark energy over my hand, and then it manifested into a black spider. Then as I was like, but it was really weird. Is through as I was waking up through this, like my vision was like completely blurry. It was yeah, that's I don't even know that that's a way to describe it, but it's like I felt like I was shifting in and out of my physical body, kind of like this. Like my head was kind of going like this. I was shifting in and out. Like my vision was completely blurry. I felt like the room was spinning. And I try to look at my hand, and I see this spider this black spider that's manifesting in my hand, and it feels like really cold. And then the spider jumps up and attacks me. But what's weird is that I couldn't really freak out because I was so like disoriented. I couldn't even really freak out. And then the black spider jumps at me, and then I wake up again, and I wake up in a slightly different position. Like I wake up like not because I wake up in a slightly different position, and then I look over at my hand again, and I see the spider on it, but it's slowly fading out and it's slowly disappearing out of existence. And what I think this dark energy is that this room, my grandma who had cancer lived in here, and I think she felt the feeling of death, and she felt the feeling of death the entire, and she felt fear when she was inside this room. So the fear, the energy that she gave off from the fear went inside this room, and that's the energy that I was feeling. I was feeling the fear from when my grandma lived in this room when she had cancer, and she felt fear from the cancer, and that fear manifested into this room, and that's what was creating this energy. And after I had that experience, I've not had any like really dark dreams like that, and the dreams have gotten better.